Hey, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, and I am so excited to be with you this morning, folks, because good news is out there. And I've got crazy lefty videos. These are going to absolutely blow your ever-loving mind. You're going to laugh so hard because they are fun, funny. I had minimized all this. I can't believe that thing is actually coming through. Hold on a sec. There we go. We got rid of it. No, we have just the craziest videos. And Michael Cohen from yesterday, I've got so much news to cover here. But first, I'm going to start with this video just for humor. Oh, really quickly, though, Midas Gold, MidasGoldGroup.com. Text Lumberjack to 232-425 to receive free silver with a qualified order, or call them at 480-360-3000. People, silver's up over $30 an ounce. Gold costs $2,400 an ounce. Those investments have done so well for me. And people say, well, the stock market's at 40,000. Yeah, it is. And tell me what's doing that. Price to earnings ratios are at all-time highs on that. And I don't trust it. I don't. And it's nuts. Anyways. So you were talking to veteran owners, not commissioned salespeople. Do me a favor, smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from. Let's get the stream out there. And let's start out with this video to brighten your day. This is absolutely hilarious. I better pull the banner out because it'll cut into this.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Just for evidence, don't worry.
Okay. He wants to know why she's videoing him. Well, just for evidence. This exchange is so nuts. Like, I am so glad I don't live in a city.
Don't worry. I wanted to let you know that we've been chatting. There's no washing your car in the driveway.
We've been chatting. This is not an
HOA neighborhood. Yeah, well, we have a group of people here, and it may not be a real HOA, but it's a club. And you think it's trashy? We're going to get you evicted from here. Don't come into I'm not sure why you're advancing on me, sir.
I'm advancing on you because you're in my driveway. In the state of Florida, let me tell you something. You come in my domain, cause yourself some problems, okay? You can take that any way you want to.
Okay, sir, well,
I can wash my truck
I feel like
driveway.
you're scaring me. I'm calling the...
You're scaring me. You're scared. You're scaring me, she says. I know. So Jan Hood says club, laugh my butt off. Exactly. Like, it reminds me of that George Carlin thing. It's a big club and you aren't in it. It's just, this is the funniest thing I've seen, but there's so much here wrong with this. First off, it's not a real HOA, but we got this club and we've decided that we think it's really bad that you're washing your truck. It's just, okay, so somebody said this has to be fake. James, so I'm pretty good at spotting fake videos. Like I tend to think most videos are fake and staged, like that are done like this. This one does not appear to be that to me. I think this is actually a real video that she probably then posted on Facebook and then said, hey, my people, my neighbors were also concerned, this guy, and then he was kind of scary to me. So let me ask you guys, how many of you think real or fake? Just in the chat, real or fake? Out of curiosity. Yeah, exactly. So Lynn says this: she trespasses on his property and is calling the cops on him for moving her back. What a total clown. Is right. See, I think, Mosey are like, this is real. I think it's real. Okay. Debs thinks it's a little bit of fake. I think it's real. She sounds like a real Karen. The whole interaction seems legitimate. Okay. I've got a friend who's got these, who's got an HOA. These people are nuts. They're nuts. They're nuts. Live in the country, people. I'm just telling you, live in the country. I go in my backyard, shoot guns, people. Guns. Just. Oh, my driveway's a mile long. People got to be pretty committed to come back here, and there might not be, a way out. I don't know. He's a good actor if it's fake. Exactly. It seems real. Okay, I want to cover my Trump stuff, but I have to show you this cat fight that ensued yesterday in Congress. I'm sure some of you have seen this. I have Well, let me play the video and then I'm going to comment on it afterwards. I actually have two thoughts on this. One that might be good, seeing it as good. The other, seeing it as bad. So curious to get your thoughts on this too.
Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
Proceeding.
So I'm trying to get
Miss Crockett,
clarification.
you're not.
You just voted to do
Y'all did it
it.
first, so you
You
don't
just
want to talk
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceeding.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Mr.
Order.
All right,
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes
Not cute.
Miss Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Miss Green talk, and then you all can. I'll recognize.
But I
someone on
moved to
this side.
strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and this
the
side
rules
show
of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Okay,
Miss
I'm
Order,
recognized.
listen,
I'm recognized.
order.
I'm going to
Listen,
go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know. Look, I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Miss Green and let
We
her
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a Okay, what's the motion? What's
The motion.
Okay, so I have a couple thoughts on this, people. One, what a crap show. I mean, you guys, Crockett is so ghetto. She's so ghetto. Honestly, I mean, have you ever seen anything so ghetto? Talking shit about me. Oh gosh. I mean, AOC, the whole thing. I like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but come on. I mean, do we have to? You know what's interesting is words. They're words. Oh, we need these words struck. And the problem was, I mean, if you watch the whole interchange, it wasn't just about words. They wanted an apology. What good is a fake apology? I mean, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene thought that. So, oh, wait, now we'll just go, oh, we apologize. And, for something we actually meant. Gosh, it's what a circus, what a clown show. But the other side of me thinks, I'm glad to see it. Now, hold on. Hear me out, people. Hear me out. Do you guys think this is good or bad? I'm serious. Comment on this. I really am. Because, there was actually people who got shot in Congress before. Andrew Jackson, duels. I mean, people got heated. I mean, the exchange got heated. And so part of me thinks this is actually good. And so I see a lot of people say it bad, but I think that actually seeing the raw reality of these people is good, if that makes sense. Okay. Did you guys catch me on that? So what I mean by that is this is who Crockett is. So seeing it is a good thing. Does that make sense? And it's so Crockett has no vote. Why is she there? No, you understand. Crockett. Okay, I know you spelled the name wrong. Oh gosh. How about the comment? Anyway, the thing with her is she does have the vote. You need to understand. She has the vote. Where Crockett comes from, she's got it. She comes from the ghetto. She is the ghetto. She gets 70% of the vote. I am so tired of our side pretending that these people don't have support. They do. Okay? If that's news to you, I'm sorry. But this is a reflection of her district. Do you guys understand that? I mean, everybody wants to think that this isn't real. Like Kim Crockett can't get elected. She doesn't have enough votes. How many? No. Where she's from, she actually does. Do you guys understand that? I mean, you need to understand the district she represents. Maybe it's not 70%. Maybe, you know, because it's padded, maybe it's 65. But don't think that her district is not majority for her. It's the Fanny effect, Ruth. It's it, man. It's like it's all ghetto now, man. It's just nuts. And so somebody then commented about LGBTQIA outrage, okay, and stuff. What about the black girl trying to use the work butch as an insult to MTG? Exactly. But watch this. And this is just a real event again, people. I'm not saying this is the majority of America. I'm saying it's a factor in what's going on out there right now. And here we go.
Have an abortion?
Trans women can, because they're women.
What about the trans?
Oh, I had that at the wrong spot.
What about the trans?
Trans women are women.
What does that have to do with
Trans
abortion?
women are women.
I
They call
support
abortion.
trans women.
Trans women are women. Trans women are women.
Can trans women have an abortion?
Trans women can, because they're women.
What about the trans?
Okay. So, what do you guys think? Can they? I mean, fighting for abortion rights and this, I was telling my kids last night, people, I'm going to tell you a little story. I grew up in not a big town, it was Bemidji, Minnesota. And I actually grew up in Debs, which is even smaller, like population 8. But I went to high school in Bemidji, and there was one guy I thought was a little off, you know. I thought, I don't know, maybe he is. Found out later in life, yes, he was. But when I first moved down to the Twin Cities metro area, I waited tables in downtown Minneapolis. Now, for those who don't know, Minneapolis has the second highest homosexual population in the U.S. outside of San Francisco. And so I went to work at this place. It was on the 12th floor of Dayton's. It was called the Oak Grill. And there was a very flamboyant guy. He was a host. His name was Brian. And I kept watching him thinking, well, this guy seems like, well, is he? And maybe it's a little off, but nobody's really like that, are they? I mean, I'm from Bemidji, people. Small town. I did. I kept saying to myself, yeah, but people don't really, I mean, guys like gals, right? Yeah. I just don't know how to put this. Anyways, found out that myself and a gentleman named Bobby and another guy named Dan were the only straight waiters at the joint. Okay. We were it. And I found that there's a lot that goes along with that lifestyle. It wasn't just that one thing. There was a lot of drug abuse, alcohol. It was actually pretty sad. I mean, I did try to minister and witness to some of them, but I didn't gain any converts. I'll say that. That doesn't mean that people don't convert. I know people would have out of that, seriously. And praise God for it. Praise God for his saving grace, because if we didn't have it, none of us would be worthy. That doesn't mean we just continue sinning, that Paul made that point. But I just, you watch these things and it's confusing. It's like, wow, the whole Criken world's gone mad. Whether it's this lefty gal coming up to the truck owner, whether it's Crockett in the halls of Congress, or whether it's this last guy. These people have real issues. And so it's pretty nuts. The government made a very startling admission yesterday. I want to get to that, but let me get into Michael Cohen first. This isn't bringing it in. Here we go. Present, share screen, and here we go. So here's the problem right now in the Trump trial and why everything's going so bad. The Trump trial now comes down to Michael Cohen's credibility. New York prosecutors trying to convict Trump of falsifying business records face a formidable challenge. They have to convince a jury to trust the word of a convicted perjurer. again, it's like if you started by saying a convicted perjurer and a porn star walk into a courtroom, everybody would know it's a joke, people. Everybody would know it's a joke. But they have to convince the jury to trust the word of Michael Cohen, the convicted perjurer. The credibility of Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and fixer, dominated the fifth week of former president's trial. Cohen's testimony lies at the heart of the charges that Trump allegedly directed a scheme to hide hush money payments to Stormy ahead of 2016. He's really the only person for the prosecution who can connect those dots and weave all that evidence together, says Renato Mariotto, a former federal prosecutor. But Cohen's not exactly the ideal star witness. You don't say. In 2018, Cohen pled guilty to 8 crimes involving the hush money scheme, including lying to Congress and federal investigators. He spent more than a year in prison before finishing the rest of his 3-year sentence in home confinement. It goes without saying he's got some credibility issues, says Anna Kaminsky, a New York law professor. Trump lawyers spent much of the week trying to discredit Cohen and so on. What I want to talk about here specifically in relation to this is how badly he bombed the whole 92 or 93 second phone call that really wasn't what he said it was, and how he gets serious lapses of memory when he's all of a sudden under oath. But the real problem, people, with all of this is they have a burden of proof, right? The prosecution has a burden of proof, and the burden of proof is beyond reasonable doubt. Now, this is different than election cases like we had down in Arizona, where it was preponderance of evidence, but turned into a beyond reasonable doubt, it seemed. So we're applying different standards, it seems. But see, this is a jury that's been instructed that it is beyond reasonable doubt. Not a judge that's just going to take preponderance of evidence and change it to reasonable doubt. Does that make sense? Again, it's a biased New York jury pool with a biased judge whose daughter, worked for Democrats and so on. So I don't know that it comes out right here in this trial. But that being said, it would come out on appeal, I believe, which is what is happening with so many of these. We're relying on appeal because they set it up at the beginning. What they're looking for is a conviction to sway the election. That's their hope right now. But that doesn't mean Trump's going to jail. It doesn't mean Trump's actually going to have to pay all these insane judgments, because at the end of the day, on the appeal process, it's going to be different because they haven't been able to hand select judge and jury. Makes sense to y'all? You guys get where I'm coming from? So anyhow, that's the whole thing going on there. But then, did you guys see this? Yes, we did. Fund Wuhan gain-of-function research. Virtually every lab does it. This is from an NIH official. The broad definition is lab jargon. Without regulatory relevance, it's not dangerous. Okay? He told this. Lawrence Tabak tells COVID subcommittee, GOP reads from damning unreleased emails about evading FOIA, misleading NIH. President Clinton's infamous parsing of the word is remains apt 26 years after his deposition in Paula Jones' sexual harassment lawsuit. National Institutes of Health Principal Deputy Director Lawrence Tabak found himself in a Clintonian callback at a House Select Committee on the coronavirus pandemic hearing Thursday on NIH oversight of funding that may have helped unleash the pandemic. This is sort of like what the definition of is. Representative Mariannette Miller Meeks, Republican, Iowa, deadpanned as Tabak distinguished between the broad definition of gain-of-function research on a news and events page NIH erased between October 19th and 21st, and the narrow definition its regulators use for grant approval and compliance on a replacement page. So again, they're changing definitions, they're erasing. This is what we're seeing across the board right now. So, but they finally had to admit to it. I didn't even add that to the stage. I was reading from this article at Just the News, folks. Just the News. The former would be the news and events gain of function, modifies a biological agent so it confers new or enhanced activity to that agent, while the later has a much higher bar, research that may be reasonably anticipated to create, transfer, or use potential pandemic pathogens resulting from the enhancement of a pathogen's transmissibility and or virulence in humans. So we knew all this years ago, good night, and yet we were constantly censored for it. It's so frustrating. It really is. I'm going to add this back to the stage here. I'm going to talk to you about this from the Liberal Patriot. So this is from a liberal source. Toward the beginning of this year, I remarked in a post the coming working class election. Here's a simple truth. How working class, non-college voters move will likely determine the outcome of the 2024 election. They will be the overwhelming majority of eligible voters, around 2/3, and even allowing for turnout patterns only slightly less dominant among actual voters, around 3/5. Moreover, in all 6 key swing states, that's Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Now, Minnesota, folks, I'm going to just pop over here real quick, show you. Minnesota has moved to the toss-up column on the Real Clear Politics average at 2.3. It is now considered a toss-up when you go to their map. Minnesota. That's how bad it is for Biden. But anyways, moving back. It follows a significant deterioration in working class support that could put Biden in a very deep hole nationally and in key states. Conversely, a burgeoning advantage among working class voters would likely put Trump in a dominant position. So how's that going now that we're almost midway through the election year? Okay. The New York Times polls came out yesterday. I covered that across the battleground. Biden is losing to Trump among working class voters by 16 points. That compares to Biden's national working class deficit of just 4 points in 2020. It's also slightly worse than Biden's performance in last October Times poll, which covered the same states, which he was behind among these voters by 15 points. The October to May deterioration is actually a bit worse among likely voters, from 14 to 18 points and so on. He's not doing well, folks. It's, and of course, you know that. But Joe Biden is losing. And here's the thing. There's not enough cat ladies at this point to overcome what's taking place. There's not enough dead people on the rolls to overcome what's coming. So don't just give up. Don't go like, oh, well, it's all just going to go. It's all rigged, whatever. I understand your thinking. I know, but. And don't kid yourself. They're going to try everything. They're going to try all kinds of shenanigans. So, you're going to have to keep your nose to the air, your powers of discernment, and make sure that you're focusing on the things that need to be focused on and doing what you can do to stop that from occurring. Get involved as election judges, election workers, and so on. I've long advocated that, and I do it myself, and many of you do. So I thank you for that, because that's what it's going to take. If we're going to win this back, because again, you can have 16, you can be plus 16 in working class. You can have gone, it's not that Trump is plus on the black vote over 50%, but he's plus from the last election by double digits. So you continue to add all these numbers up, and no, Joe Biden isn't going to win. And I know we still have a lifetime in politics, and they're trying to, tie him up in court, but the courts actually worked out well for him. I covered that yesterday on a stream. Hopefully you saw that one, because that was a very, very well done piece by Miranda Devine out of the New York Post. And we commented on that and talked that through. But yeah, it's, I just, keep the faith, folks, because with God, all things are possible. And you can get this free pillow right now at mypillow.com using promo code Lumberjack. In addition to the extravaganza sale, in addition to the free shipping on orders over $75, you can call them at 1-800-568-2865. Big savings, folks. Support Mike Lindell. God, I was going to have him on the show this week, and things got crazy. I'll get him on here this next week probably, but I'm going to be off for a couple days again. I've got some things to do, but I've got a documentary I'm working on. I've got to film a project for another company. So there's just a lot going on outside of YouTube world for me right now. Because I always fill in the gaps. I've got some demonetization from YouTube, which is what happened. I have to fill in the gaps other places. Fortunately, the sponsors allow for me to still put time into this and whatnot. Still have 5 kids at home, so I mean, got bills too, like everybody. So, anyways, thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next episode. Again, please do support the sponsors. They support the show. Midas Gold Group, again, that's been doing very well. 480-360-3000. And then My Pillow, 1-800-568-2865. My preferred way of ordering is to call them. I like talking to the people there, and they can guide you through the process of getting the right pillow, the right sheets, those types of things. All right. Keep fighting a good fight. Love you guys too. I see all the great comments. Thank you so much. All right. Peace out.